Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin, actually more of a PSA. Always check your sources before you start running your mouth about a rumor. In this case, I'm sure you've heard, did Disney fire Star Wars Rey movie director Sharmeen? That's a mouthful. Rumors are going around about Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy being fired, let go, because more rumors about the movie starring Rey Palpatine being put on hold for whatever reason. Now, why on earth? Now, this may be a whole lot of wishful thinking, hope, beyond hope that the movie's not going to come out, and that is still a possibility. But the idea that they would come out and let Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy go for whatever reason after announcing her and making a big deal about it, I don't see that all that likely, especially when I saw where the rumors came from. So let's see what the Direct has to say with this one. The latest Star Wars gossip claims Disney fired Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, the director of Daisy Ridley's untitled Rey Palpatine movie. Yeah, get the bad taste out of my mouth. But are these rumors true? Of course not. It's wishful thinking. Wait till you see the source. Following Obaid-Chinoy's comments to Variety that it was, quote, time we had a woman come forward to shape a Star Wars film. A report claiming her movie had been indefinitely delayed lit up the internet before eventually being debunked. There was also a few other things that Obaid-Chinoy came out and talked about that didn't sit too well with fans. And yes, we are aware that they happened many years ago under different contexts and different circumstances. But it's still the idea that she said these things, and it left a bad taste in Star Wars fans' mouths. Explaining the Sharmeen Obaid, that her name is a mouthful. Am I the only one that thinks, like, can we shorten that? Obaid-Chinoy? That's still a long one. Explaining the Star Wars rumors. Now, here's where the fun comes into play, especially if you know who this particular YouTuber is. I've heard about him. But speculation that Obaid-Chinoy had been dropped from Daisy Ridley's Star Wars movies appeared to have stemmed from none other than YouTuber Mike Zero. Mike Zero? Zero? I've asked that before. I don't care how to pronounce his name. Who alleged Lucasfilm decided to, quote, fire and remove the director, quote, in the wake of the Rey movie backlash. From my understanding, now, you make your own opinion, but everything I've heard about Mike Zero, and not, again, I don't have any experience, I only go off of what I've heard, is that he tends to stretch the truth that he hears. So I would think, I mean, obviously, if I come out with a video that talking about rumors this and rumors that, outside of, prefacing what I'm about to say as this is rumor control, take rumors with a grain of salt. Do your own, due diligence, check the source, check the resources. The video also claimed Obaid-Chinoy was removed from additional Lucasfilm and Disney Plus projects that have yet to be announced. Now, obviously, I think that's an easy thing to speculate on, because if a project is yet to be announced, who can call you on whether or not she's been removed from it or not? So, and you kind of figure if someone puts out as much information as particular YouTube channels do, eventually they're going to be right, and they'll be able to celebrate that one single correct position. I try to be careful whenever I make videos. I try to be careful. I at least find more than just one source before I start running my nonsensical mouth. In addition to the director's recent Variety comments, 2015 statements from Obaid-Chinoy recently resurfaced on X and, as Forbes noted, were also falsely attributed to her Star Wars movie. I'm not sure who attributed her comments to the Star Wars movie. I guess people who didn't, research what she was saying, when she was saying it, why she was saying it, but that's not the reason people got upset. It's the activism part. It's the documentarian part. Star Wars fans aren't interested in her being attached to Star Wars. But, again, I seriously doubt she's been let go at all. Unfortunately, I do believe we're going to get this movie. Disney and Kathleen Kennedy made too much of a fuss about Rey Palpatine coming back and Obaid-Chinoy being the director moving forward on this film. Granted, the announcement of another Rey Star Wars movie was met with mixed reactions. She barely got a clap when she walked on stage at the Star Wars celebration, especially since Star Wars has steered clear of theaters since 2019. Wow. Almost 5 years. Oh, that's something to think about. However, while online criticism of the director's comments is real, evidence that Disney and Lucasfilm removed her has yet to be seen, because it's a rumor, because it's made up for someone to try and get clicks. The YouTube game, the clicks game, the grifting game, I don't know how many people do it. I try to avoid it, but hey, you know what? If that's your game, if that's how you want to do it, you go ahead and do it. I prefer to be, I try to be a little bit more honest, a little bit more genuine, because otherwise, the people who come to your channel will sniff it out like a fart in a car, and then will go the other way, much like a fart in a car. If anything, there is more evidence suggesting that the film is well underway at the studio. Now, I'll believe that when I see it. In recent days, Daisy Ridley expressed her excitement for the project to, Allocene, saying, "I knew it was something I really wanted to do. Despite the fact that you don't know anything about the story, you've only been told about the story, you haven't read anything." Daisy Ridley says, "So I thought about it for a little bit, and then you saw the paycheck. And once I knew what the story was and how big the paycheck was and everything, I knew it was something I really wanted to get paid for." I'm sorry, maybe I'm adding a little too much into that. "I think it's a really fantastic exploration of the Star Wars world that you're pillaging from the expanded universe, taking the place of Luke Skywalker. Anyway, it's a really cool way of taking the story in a bit of a different direction, except it's not really a different direction because of what the predicted title is going to be." In addition, Lucasfilm contradicted the rumor of the film being indefinitely delayed, telling Gizmodo the report was inaccurate and the studio was actively awaiting writer Stephen Knight's next draft. What on earth do you expect Disney to say? Do you think they're going to come out and tell you, "Oh, yes, it's on hold. We're not doing anything"? The investors would lose their mind because the stock would plummet further and further into the abyss. What Lucasfilm should do about Daisy Ridley's Star Wars movie? Get a good writer, get a director that's actually, well, no, I guess they're stuck with Obaid-Chinoy. And like I've said numerous times, although I don't hold out hope for this, honestly, it could be a fantastic story, but so many people have a bad taste in their mouths from all the other projects and all the whether you call them a bait and switch or the Mary Sue, whatever your opinion of Rey Palpatine from the Disney trilogy is, it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and they have no interest, no desire to go back and revisit this character. Daisy Ridley's a fantastic individual, I'm sure, but Rey Palpatine is shite. Complete and total shite. A one-note character that had no struggle, no hero's journey, no interest in anything, but this isn't supposed to be about the damn character. The idea that any news outlet could take... Look into where you get the rumors from before you start blasting it out online, before you start making videos. As soon as I heard who the YouTuber was and everything I had heard about him, I laughed and just chuckled that so many people were taking it at more than face value. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I'm going to bed. Y'all have a good one.